Well, hello guys, it's Dale Walker back in the dyno room. This is just a little intro. I've got the MT-09, my 25 MT-09 SP back all assembled, and with David's Vcyclenut flash. Hey guys, this is how you can reach David at Vcyclenut. There it is, where he's located, and that is his phone number. Great guy with personal service, calls you back, talks to you like a normal human. Does a good job. The airbox modifications that I showed in my last 2 or 3 videos. Under the gas tank, the foam removed halfway on the tank, and then the front all trimmed off underneath the front of the tank, the plastic pieces for more airflow. So it's all reassembled. It's got the Black Widow full system on it now, the 300mm muffler, no dB killer. And what we're going to do is, once I get all the runs done, how it sits right now, dyno pulls that is, I'm going to test the dB killer here. It's a very good design. Unlike some of them don't have holes, just a tube blocked off, this has holes. So I know it's going to hurt it. I'd say 2 to 3 horsepower from peak numbers without it. It's a big muffler core in this thing. Must be 2 1/4. Okay. This, I'll have to measure it, but this looks like about 1 1/4 inches. It's metric, I'm sure. And we'll do it. We'll do the test with this installed, and then I'll remove it and I'll cut the end cap off, because that's how I'm going to run it. So I'll cut this whole thing off completely and deburr it right on the end here, right after the weld. Okay, and we're going to see how well I can do. On the GSX-8, it was down about 3 ponies, and with the same muffler, and when I drilled a 3/4 inch hole in it, I matched no dB killer. And let me tell you, this still takes the edge off the sound. I like that on the street. I don't like it quite as loud. There's nothing in it. This muffler's 300mm, but it's still fairly noisy when you're on it. So I want to run it, but we'll see what I can get out of it by tweaking it. So let me grab the camera real quick, do a quick walk around, show you the bike. We're not starting dyno pulls yet. Tomorrow I got to go to the cancer center for a meeting. Unfortunately, it looks like on the 31st is my second meeting, and I may have to do pinpoint radiation again, the old-fashioned kind. They make a mask, they clamp you down on a carbon fiber table, they take all your pictures. It did kill it, my 7-month treatment. The liquid radiation killed about 8 spots. I have it on my bones, not my organs. But my C7 is still covered. That's the main culprit always. My neck's starting to feel like a ratchet. And there's one spot on my left rib. So I have a feeling on the 31st that's what they're going to be talking about. And it's a nightmare because, you know, whatever. I got to do it, man. I got to do it. It's like the last phase. And then hopefully I'll be cancer free, hopefully. All right, I got my 10-inch exhaust evacuation system all hooked up. I got the air fuel tube stuck down into the mid pipe. That's the hexagon 300mm Black Widow muffler, and that's all set up. It goes down that tube up out the ceiling, up through a squirrel cage fan, and out the upper wall vent, giant vent on the side of my building. Okay, here is the Black Widow full system, stainless. I bought some nice plugs online. They were like 12 bucks for a pair. They don't give them to you. They give you 2 extension wires. US bikes only have 1, so you can barely see it on the other side. They're poking up. So they're both plugged. Okay, and then up here is where my last video. I'll put the links to those videos too. This used to be come clear down to here and was blocked. Okay, and then of course I got the foam. I would say clear back to about this area here. All the foam on the top is 3/4 inch thick, which blocks it from getting into the top of the airbox. And then we shorten the airbox only a 1/4 inch above the marriage line, of the seam of where it seals to the bottom of the bottom airbox portion. So that's it. Another thing I'd like to mention, guys, is my 2021 MT-09 with the CP3 same engine. At my last location was the same elevation as here, which is 4,500 feet. And the best I got out of that 21 model with airbox mods, BMC air filter, I believe I ran, and flashed, and fine-tuned and everything, was 113 horsepower with the same exact full system on the bike. And it was around 66 or maybe I hit 67 foot-pounds of torque once. So just as a reference. Well, good morning, guys. Today is Wednesday, a couple days later. We're going to do the dyno work today, part 2 of the MT-09 SP 2025. We've got David's Vcyclenut ECU flash. We've got the intake mods, and we've got the full system Black Widow and 300mm muffler like I told you about. Anyway, what I'm going to do first is do some warm-up pulls, get the dyno all warmed up, chain warmed up, motor oil warmed up, Dale warmed up, and make it start repeating, and then we're going to get into some pulls. I'm not going to show everyone because it's going to take all day, but I'm going to get started, and I'll be back when we're going to show you a couple real pulls and explain in between what we're going to do throughout the day. So let me get started. Alright guys, I've been running it a little while. We're not getting close to what David made here. We're at 4,500 feet. I made 110 a few times best on 109, so it's making about 5-6 horsepower more than it did stock. I think that's all we're going to get out of it. I'm going to make 3 more pulls right now. And I got the room 79 degrees, pretty hot in here right now. And it's about 6% humidity. So it's a little warm today, that's going to hurt a little too. But anyway, it is what it is. It did, on the chart, do pretty good though. But let me make 3 more pulls right now, let you hear it run. And then I'll do a cool down, then we'll take the top cover off and try without the top cover, just the back of it. Okay, here we go. Did pretty good. I made 111, so we'll have to look at those pulls. Since it's happy right now, I'm going to only wait about 79 degrees in here, 7%. I'm going to wait about 8 minutes, do 3 more before we confirm those numbers. But I'm happy with that for where we're at. So let me cool it down a little bit. I've got the wall air on, get a little cool air around the bike. And we'll do 3 more just to confirm, okay? Alright guys, that's the last 3 pulls right there in a row. Very nice curve. See how it repeats real nice? So 111, 66 foot-pounds. That's the best pull yet. So what I'm going to do is, it's a couple more minutes to go, and we are going to do 3 more and then probably call it a day as far as this particular test without the DB killer. It may break 112, it may not make 111 again. They're very touchy when it comes to the exact temperature, how long you leave it between runs, and humidity, and everything else. All runs 50. Alright, we broke 112 a couple times, that's good. 67 foot-pounds, I think, which is good. That's all we're going to get out of it here at 4,500 feet. And the air fuel, I like how David did it. I don't know if he tweaked it. I told him where I ride. I said, yeah, you might want to take a teeny bit of fuel out of it, maybe a couple percent or something. Not sure if he did that or not, but I like it in the upper 13s. It's still fine. And that way when I go up at 8,300 feet, it's not going to be too fat. I'm going to get better fuel mileage, everything like that. So, all right, let's let it cool down. I'm going to pop the top lid off completely, the cover up here. It's top cover. Let's see if it helps whatsoever. Only one way to find out, so let's let it rest, and let's do that. All right, guys, so number 7 is one of the very best pulls, bone stock. And 21 is just now the best one. It was the second pull of the 3. So here's the 2 charts. So the bottom line here is your torque. This is your horsepower. So we're making 2 to 3 horsepower right here between 4 and 5 grand. Starts picking it up about 3,300 to about 5,800 right in here. Good amount of torque. Probably 3 foot-pounds, 2.5 horsepower, and then it comes up here, and then right at about 7 grand where it just starts taking off. We got about 3-4 horsepower right here. This is about 5 horsepower, maybe 6, and then it carries it and carries it, and then here where the stock bike starts shutting off and then hits the limiter at about 10.4, 10.3 or so, I think. David increased the rev limiter about 200 to 300 RPM, and up in here between 10 and where it hits at like 10.8 is huge. Alright guys, so yeah, so now that I have it back off, see those vents do nothing. They're just cosmetic. This is all blocked, see all here? So let's see if this makes a difference. That's a hell of a lot more airflow right there, just letting it in compared to just right here. Now it might not do anything, but there's only one way to find out, and that's run it. So let's run it. Alright guys, well, it only made just a tiny, it sat for a long time though, so we're going to give it one more chance. It made the same power, but it made 112 every pull and 67 foot-pounds every pull. It's never done that. So I'm letting it sit just a couple more minutes, and then we're going to do it right away with the cover still off, give it one more chance, see if we can break 113, maybe not. Let's do that right now. Alright guys, well here are the results. I didn't show all the runs. It made a 112 on 2 other runs on each session. So right now the number 30 is with the lid on, and 28 was the best pull with the lid off. So it's not worth modifying the lid. If it made 113 or banged 114 one time, I'd say it'd be worth modifying it. But hey, it still broke 113. And I gotta mention, you know this is down from what David did at his place. I think it'd make 1.5 horsepower more if I got the airfield, if I sent it back to him, got the airfield closer to 13-1. But I'm gonna go ride it on the street, and if it runs nice and smooth, I'm gonna leave it alone. Probably. Who knows? But yeah, so you got to remember. No, what I want to mention is my 2021. You know, they have a bigger air box, and I made the very best of 113. Also at this elevation in my other shop where I moved from in Yerington. It's an hour away, but it's exact same elevation as here, about 4450. So I just call it 4500. So that's good. We matched the old bike, apples to apples, the best I made with airbox mods even on the 21 model. So now let's go ahead and play with the DB killer. I've decided I'm going to cut the end off immediately. I know David lost about 3 ponies, so let's see how close we can get. So let me modify it, and I'll show you what I did to it. Then I'll install it, and we'll get going on some pulls. Alright guys, I cut the end off just after the weld bead, about 1/16 of an inch. Got it pretty dead nuts on with my disc sander as far as square. Deburred it all, hit it on my deburring wheel. That's beautiful. So now we got the DB killer with holes in it and the open end, and I should have measured it. Tell you what that thing is, kinda. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, so see, it's about 1.25 inches. That's what I thought. About 1.25 inches diameter. Alright, let me get it installed and I'll make some pulls. Right now the room is, it heated up to about 80 degrees, it was 82. I got my little wall air on. I want to get it down to 78, 79, 78. Then start making pulls, and let's see if I can match at least 113 or close to 113 with this in there. We'll find out. I know David lost 3 horsepower, he said, with the end, you know, with this original. Now we've opened it up, see what happens. Alright, well, we lost 3 horsepower, but the bike sat for about an hour, so I got to start all over again. Run it, not run it, still going to give it a chance. Still don't think it's going to match it now, but hey, only one way to find out. I got to run it properly, let it cool down, run it again, let it cool down, getting that whole cycle of the room, the engine, 10 minutes apart, blah, blah, blah. Alright guys, it did pretty good. This was with the proper cool down, 10 minutes apart. The room was 80 degrees when I shut it off, 79.5 when it made the best other one. So this is with the lid back on, the 113, no dB killer, and I just got within 1.5 horsepower. See that? It's 1.56 horsepower. So there's one more thing I want to try to see if we can match the 113 or get real close, okay? And I'll show you right now. I'm going to walk back there with the camera if I can not screw this up by myself now. My buddy was helping me earlier. Okay. You see the corners in the top right there? The top corners of the flat section? Down inside there on the top. Okay, there's enough room right there for at least a 5/16 drill bit. So I'm going to center punch those 2 top corners and drill 2 holes. One on this side, one on this side. Right there in the top. I'll show it to you and then we'll try making some pulls. Alright guys, I was going to drill it with it in place. Too much of a pain. You start to get in and you'll touch the little part of the muffler that tapers into the core. I didn't want to wreck it, so took the dB killer back out, and it's a pain in the butt, but I use transfer punches. That's a round punch with a smooth side, kind of up near the corners. Center punched it, made a little mark, then used a regular center punch. I sharpened, center punched those, and then I used a long 1/8 inch drill bit first for a pilot, then worked my way up 1/4 inch all the way up 5/16, 3/8, planning on burning up some bits. Stainless is really tough. So the finished holes right there are 27/64. They're pretty big, and it's a pain to deburr them because you can't get in there. I used my little Tootsie Roll abrasive little wheels used for porting and shoved it in there. Had this out in a vise. The other side I just did on my deburr wheel. It's fine. Put a little nick in the tip, but I fixed it. So let's put this thing back in, 2 27/64 holes, and the room is real cooled down now. I'm going to have to run it a while, get it back like it was. This will be the final test. Also, when you're putting in these dB killers, I want to show you something. Never told anybody this because I didn't. You have to be real careful. Putting it in is not a problem, but taking the bolt out, it can drop out and end up in this little cavity. There's nothing beyond this. It can't go all the way down the muffler. But right in here is a little cavity, and you cannot get it with the magnet. You can't. I did that on my 8S, or yeah, 8S when I was playing with it. I'd take the whole muffler off, tip it downhill, and then I could get it. So what I do first is I stick the muffler dB killer in. I have a much longer 6mm Allen. I get it all lined up, screw it in and everything, and it fits snug enough where it won't move, and that's lined up at least with the threads. And then what I do is I take a T-handle and I wrap it with painter's tape and I shove it up in the bolt you're using that comes with the dB killer. I put it even against the thing here, push really hard, and it's stuck on there. And now what I'm going to do is put an additional little piece of tape on it so it can't fall off. I'm going to put a little blue Loctite on it, because you can always take it out, but that way, if I like how the dB killer works, it'll be in there for good. We'll see. We'll see how close I can get. We got within 1.5 horsepower. Let's see if these holes add up with 2 of them. Those are pretty big holes. So let's see if it's effective whatsoever. Let me get it together. We'll start running it. All right, guys. That's why DW never gives up. So we got within 1/2 horsepower now and 1/4 foot-pound of torque, if you can even count that. of the no dB killer at all. I made 113 even, 6788 best here. So far, it was the best one with no dB killer, and I just did that with the dB killer mod and then the 2 additional 27/64 holes on the back. Now, that's the very first session. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes. It's been about 10 minutes. The room's about 77.4, 78 degrees in here. And let's see if I can beat this. And I'll do it a couple more times because I ran the heck out of it to make the 113. So let's do that next. I'll see what happens. Got real close. I'm gonna give it one more shot. Do a little 10-minute cool down. Have the wall air on like I did before. But yeah, I got close. It still made 112, 112, and a 111, 112 and a half. It's right there. So let me shut the camera off, do a cool down, and do it one more time. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the day, but let me go over the runs. I never give up, and this is why. Had to get everything consistent. And those are the last 3 runs right there with the dB killer in, the front cutoff, and the 2 holes in the back. And number 47 is 113, 11, and 68 foot-pounds of torque, 6811. That's the best pull of all day. I beat the dB killer out. Okay? It's just the sweet spot. So, and it repeated almost 113 the second pull, and 112 the third. So here I want to show you the final air fuel numbers. That was with the dB killer mod, the best run. Best torque. So you can see here, it starts out around 2 grand, about 13 to 1, 3 grand still, and then it starts leaning out a little bit. It's up around 13.8 through that hump there. Then at 5 it's close to maybe 13.2, then 13, then 6 grand on up it climbs. But it's still about 13 and a half at 7, 8, 9's probably 13.6. And then it's about 13.8 or so, clear to red line. So that's not bad at all. It might make 1 more horsepower with a perfect straight line, but I live at 4,500 feet, like I told you, and I ride clear up over 8,400 feet. So I think this is going to run just great. So I'll go ride it, see how smooth it is and so on, and then decide, but I think it's going to just be wonderful. We'll see. Alright guys, here's the final verdict. Number 30 was the best pull with the no dB killer at all, with the muffler wide open, the big core just flowing like crazy. And number 37 is my best pull with the same conditions, with the final modified dB killer, with the 2 holes on the top, the front cutoff. So it matched and beat no dB killer at all, which is very impressive. And it definitely knocks it down. It's going to be slightly quieter. The popping on D-cell is going to be muffled a little bit better. But I'm glad I put in all that work and did what I had to do. But those are best of best right there. So now let's just leave the 47 with the dB killer in. Let's remove the other one. Okay, and then let's put the best pull with the bike completely stock, which was number 7, I believe. Yeah, number 7. All right, so there we are. So we're like, what, 8 horsepower and a lot of torque. So, yeah, so obviously the blue line is stock. So here we're making a couple horsepower, maybe 3 horsepower through the middle here. Starts at about 3,300, same as the other ones I showed you. That's not going to really change where it goes, but it's going to be bigger or smaller. So there, and then it kind of evens out. It's about 2 horsepower right here, maybe 1.5 horsepower. Right about 5,500 RPM. Then it starts taking off. And then up here, that's a good solid 7 ponies, 5 horsepower. And then another 5 here, right at 10 grand. And then out here and beyond. Here's peak. Peak's about 10.5 right here. And that's probably, that's your 8 horsepower gain right here to here. Okay. But then, because David brought the rev limiter out to about 10.8, it holds it way out here. So here to here is huge. That's like 10 ponies up on top where it's screaming. But very impressive. Like I say, you're not going to make the power here like you do closer to sea level, like up at David's in Washington or where California, where I used to live. But I did match and actually beat my 21 model, which has a better airbox, I believe, and a better setup than the new ones with the different frame. They shrunk it a little bit, so I'm happy with that. So we'll go ride it next, and it's going to see how it performs out on the real world, which I'm sure it's going to be great. Whew, that was a long one. Anyway, this is going to conclude this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't really make money on any of this stuff. I'm not selling any parts. I'm just doing it for you guys and, you know, some views. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. This concludes this video. I think it turned out great, and I'm really happy I put the extra time in. And anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell, make a comment, like, share it. Come on, guys, give me a hand. It's a lot of work. Anyway, we'll see you on the next video, and that'll probably be out riding this puppy. Yo. See you then. God bless. Peace out.